Hi everyone, welcome again to this new episode of Shake Hand with Life. I am Narendra Sharma. In my previous lecture of sampling fundamentals, I'd explained what is sampling. To watch this lecture, you may hit the link given in the I mark above, and the link is also given in the description below. In this lecture of sampling fundamentals, I'm going to explain why we need sampling. But before we dive into this lecture, make sure you have subscribed Shake Hand with Life YouTube channel and hit the bell to get the notifications of my latest video lectures. Now let's dive to get why we need sampling. So, why sampling is necessary to conclude about the population for some characteristic? Let's try to find out here. Sampling is used in practice for a variety of reasons, such as it saves time and money, sampling provides more accurate measurements, it remains the only way when the population is infinitely large. Sampling is the only choice in case of destructive testing. And the last one is it enables to estimate the sampling error. Now to understand in more detailed manner, let's elaborate each point one by one. The very first reason of sampling is it saves time and money. A sample study is usually less expensive than a census study and produces results at a relatively faster speed. To collect the sample data, we require less resources in form of man, method, material, and time than to collect the census or population data. Because a sample is just a part of a population. For example, let's say your population was every Indian and you wanted to find out how much the average person earns. Time and finances stop you from knocking on every door in India. So you prefer to ask 1000 random people. And this 1000 people is your sample. Hence, sampling no doubt saves a lot of time and money while collecting data. The second reason of the use of sampling in practice is accurate measurements. Sampling may enable more accurate measurements for a sample study because the sampling is generally conducted by trained and experienced investigators who are capable to draw conclusions about the population for some characteristic. For example, in manufacturing industries, it is the regular practice by a quality checker to conclude that a lot is defective on the basis of a random sample inspection, having defective items more than the acceptance quality level, and send the lot to quarantine for rework or reshorting. This practice not only saves the time and money, but it also provides the accurate judgment and avoids customer complaints. The third important reason of sampling is when the population is infinitely large. Sampling remains the only way when the population contains infinitely many items. In such cases, to test or to check every item is not possible practically. Hence, the sample is the only way to make inferences about the population. For example, in a screw manufacturing industry, it is not possible to test the load bearing capacity of every individual screw because the screws are manufactured in infinitely large quantities in a shift. So the load bearing capacity is checked for a randomly selected sample of screws and then concluded about the strength of the screws manufactured in infinitely large quantities. This also saves the time and resources consumed for testing. The fourth reason of sampling is in case of destructive testing. Sampling remains the only choice when quality check involves the destruction of the product under testing. For example, the car crash to study the high-speed collision impact. Here the product is undergone the destructive testing, means checking the possibility of survival of car during high-speed collision, to study the severity of impact of collision on the car in actual conditions. But we can't test every car because it involves a huge cost of destructive testing on account of product loss. Hence we have no option to choose sampling but to select a car randomly for destructive testing. The fifth reason, which is extremely important, is to estimate the sampling errors. Sampling usually enables to estimate the sampling errors and thus assists in obtaining information concerning some characteristic of the population. Sampling errors are those errors which arise on account of sampling, and they generally happen in case of random sampling in sample estimates around the true population values. Sampling errors occur randomly and are equally likely to be in either direction, means they may have positive or negative values. The magnitude of sampling error depends upon the homogeneity of the universe. The more homogeneous the universe, the smaller the sampling error, and inversely related to the size of the sample. That is, sampling error decreases as the sample size increases and vice versa. Sampling error is usually worked out as the product of the critical value at a certain level of significance and the standard error. In my upcoming video lectures, I'll explain in detail the concept of sampling error, significance level, and the standard error. So keep watching Shake Hand with Life, a YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell to get the notifications of my latest video lectures. That's it in this video. If you have any question or suggestions, then please do write your feedback in the comment section below. Give a thumbs up to this video and share this video with your friends and colleagues. This is Narendra Sharma signing off. We'll see you soon in my next episode of Sampling Fundamentals. Thanks for watching.